Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Sundar, Ramna and I would like to welcome you all for Rupa's senior recital. It's been a really long road as a family to where she is now. Rupa started her violin at the age of 4. What inspired her was our first trip, believe it or not, to Manhattan, Kansas. My niece Sindhu, who is unfortunately not here today, used to play violin. After our first trip to Manhattan, she came back and she bugged me to buy her a violin. She was just 3 years old at that time. I told her if she bugged me for a year, I would get her a violin. And she continued to bug me until she was 4. So for her 4th birthday, I bought her a violin and I took her to her first violin lesson. She started with Mrs. Lucy Spinner in Canton at that time. Mrs. Lucy Spinner taught her the Suzuki method of violin, and she started playing at the Livonia Symphony Orchestra. That's where we met Miss Julia Kritika, her second violin teacher, who really changed not just Rupa's life, but mine. She was one of the best teachers Rupa ever had, and one of the best friends I ever had. She pushed Rupa to the most, and she was the main inspiration for Rupa to get into the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Rupa started with her probably when she was 7, and she continued to play and she was 14, I think, with Miss Julia. All of a sudden, one day Julia told us she had liver cancer and she had a year to live and we can move on to a different teacher. It was such a huge shock. We told her we'll continue to stay with her as long as she is willing to teach Rupa. That really changed both Rupa and my life. Her last lesson to Rupa was from the hospice a week before she passed away. Nothing had changed Julia. I still remember the hospice lesson. She kind of yelled at Rupa. She told her how her bow hold was wrong, how she should not hold her violin this way. She was still giving her the same tips. She was still joking around with me. The impact on Rupa was so much. Her college essay, The Last Rose, which I made a few copies, and it's out on the table if you want to read, was based on her experience with Miss Julia. After Miss Julia passed away, we had quite a few teachers. It was very difficult for both me and Rupa. And finally I wrote a letter or an email to the DSO coordinator asking, hey, we are looking for a violin teacher. Can you recommend one? We got a call a week after from Mr. Wu. And here we are skeptical. We drove to Ann Arbor. We had our first lesson with Mr. Wu. I still remember I sat with Rupa, which I used to do all the time. We came out to the driveway. We looked at each other and we said, yes, we found Julia. And thank you, Mr. Wu. It's been such a great pleasure the last year with you. Rupa has learned so much from you. We owe it to you all. Especially from where Julia left, you have really taken Rupa to the next step. Now, if you're wondering why we are doing back-to-back recital, note, it's not my cousin, but it's my cousin's wife, Pushpa, who asked me last year. She specifically told me, hey, I want to come to Rupa's violin recital. Make sure it's back-to-back. I really want you to do. And then I said, I don't know if I can or I cannot do. She's like, I don't care if it's 1 year apart, I'll still come and I'll still do it. Thank you, Pushpa. Without you, I would have never even thought about doing this back-to-back. There's so many people who has been part of this journey and to where Rupa is. I want to thank you all. Just a few housekeeping rules. The parking, please really pay attention. I was told if you park at the wrong place, you will not only get a $120 ticket, you may not see your car when you walk out. They will tow it. I don't want to be giving you rides. I do appreciate for you showing up, not going to the big house game today, because there's a lot of you, I know a lot of Rupa's friends have gone to the, what's the game today? The big soccer game today.
Yeah, Manchester.
The Manchester game today. But if you chose to come for this recital, There's not only good music, there's going to be good food too. So welcome everyone. Please enjoy the music. Thank you. take our break, I want to recognize a couple of people in the audience. I want to recognize Rupa's teacher, Carnatic music teacher, Kasturi Shivkumar, and her group, Lady Lisa, for coming today. Thank you for coming. Rupa's talents tomorrow in the Carnatic music, and thank you for coming today. I also want to recognize Kathy DePento, the Plymouth School, or Plymouth Camden Community School Orchestra Director. Kathy, not only have you helped Rupa, I am so not ashamed to confess how many times I have called Kathy for teen issues. She's the greatest. So if you have teen kids in Camden Community Schools, there's your resource. She has been the greatest in helping Rupa and the orchestra and in talking to me. So there is a 15-minute intermission. We have snacks and fruits. Please help yourself.